How's it going, everybody? My name is LuckyBunz, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down all of the content for the month of June in Pokemon GO. With that being said, we got a lot to get through, so let's jump straight into it. Okay, so during this month of Pokemon GO, we're also going to be starting a brand new season, and from this new season, we're going to get these following new special bonuses. 2 special traits per day, the daily adventure incense is going to be extended from 15 minutes to 30 minutes, and then finally we're going to get increased experience for the first catch of the day. Now it is worth mentioning that we're not going to be getting the guaranteed rare candy XL bonus during raid hours, and we're also not going to be getting the guaranteed extra large candy from trading Pokemon if you're level 31 or higher. I'm pretty sad to see that bonus leave, not gonna lie, but I am pretty excited for the new ones. Next up though, let's talk about our featured Shadow Legendary Pokemon in Giovanni as well as in raid battles. So after the recent Team Rocket takeover in May, we now have Shadow Dialga available as a featured Pokemon from Giovanni. This does require the use of your Super Rocket Radar. Now in terms of meta relevance for Shadow Dialga, as a Dragon type attacker in raids, this is going to rank under Shadow Palkia, Palkia Origin Form, and Shadow Salamence, and it's going to be on par with Black Kurum, Shadow Garchomp, Shadow Dragonite, and Dialga Origin Form. All of these Pokemon are fantastic options to use as Dragon type attackers. Now as a Steel type attacker in raids, it's going to be about 5 points lower than Shadow Metagross with Meteor Mash, and it's going to be far worse than Duskmane Necrozma. So if you have those two options, I wouldn't worry about this one as a Steel type. And then finally, when it comes down to PvP, this is going to rank in the top 50 for the Open Master League, but you do want to ideally have the Hundo. I also want to mention that Dialga Origin Form with Roar of Time does rank much better than Shadow Dialga, and it can be lucky traded. So if you prefer to save your Super Rocket Radar, then you should aim for one of those instead. And for anybody unsure on how to actually stack your Super Rocket Radar, then check out this quick video on screen. Now following that, let's take a look at our Shadow Legendary option available in raid battles over the weekend, and that is going to be Shadow Regice. Now last month I did predict that this might happen, and I really wish it wasn't true, but it does look like we're going to be getting a third full rotation of Shadow Regis in raids over the weekend. I guess the one upside to this is that during this additional rotation of Shadow Regis, we are going to have the new remote raid pass updates in effect. So for anybody that missed out on Shadow Regice back in March, you do have a chance to actually hunt this Shadow Shiny now. Now we did just recently get some pretty big move pool updates for the new season of GBL, which is going to be starting on June 3rd. So keep in mind that this ranking might change, but as of right now, Shadow Regice is going to be ranked in the top 200 for the Open Ultra League. Now on top of that, you also want to have the Legacy Charge move Thunder if you actually want to run it in that meta. But I think the main appeal is going to be the Shadow Shiny hunt for most players. Next up, let's take a look at the Research Breakthrough Pokemon, and I'm actually pretty excited about this rotation now. So we're going to have Aerodactyl, Galarian Corsola, Gible, Sinistea, Charcadet, and Frigibax. Every Pokemon except for Frigibax and Sinistea do have the potential to be shiny, and you also have a chance to get a remote raid pass from these if you have no more than 2 in your Pokemon bag, although it is pretty rare. Honestly speaking here, I am super hyped for Galarian Corsola and Sinistea and Charcadet. We're also going to be getting the shiny for Frigibax during Go Fest, I believe, so not this month, but the following month we should have the shiny enabled, which is actually pretty awesome. Now following that, let's take a look at the Legendary Raid rotation, and shiny forms will be available for every Pokemon I'm about to talk about, so just keep that in mind. And the rotation cycle is going to be from 10 AM to 10 AM local time. So first of all, we're going to continue to have Tapu Bulu until June 5th. This was actually extended an extra 2 days because its original end date was supposed to be on June 3rd. So overall, if you guys happen to miss this, it's going to be a great Pokemon worth hunting for because during this rotation, it also has access to Nature's Madness, and it's ranked in the top 20 for the Open Master League. The next Pokemon in rotation is going to be Groudon in its non-primal form, and during this rotation it also won't have access to its signature moveset Precipice Blades, which means you will have to use an Elite TM if you actually want to get it. So when it comes down to it, this isn't exactly the best time to be raiding this Pokemon because ideally if you wanted to raid hard and use a lot of raid passes, you would want to go for the primal form, because then at least you could actually farm energy on this, but as of right now you would just be going for the shiny or the hundo. Now with that being said, I'm not saying that you shouldn't raid Groudon during this rotation because it's still going to be a great Pokemon. I would just conserve your premium raid passes and stick with your free ones. Now taking a look at the meta relevance for Groudon though, this Pokemon is going to be great to build as a ground type for the raid/dim meta, and it's also going to rank in the top 25 for the Open Master League. On top of that, you can also use this Pokemon for Rocket Grunts and Leaders if you decide to give it the double Elite TM moveset, Precipice Blades, and Fire Punch. Personally speaking, I think Groudon is probably one of the best Pokemon you guys can build in Pokemon GO, so do not sleep on this. Next up in rotation, naturally we're going to be getting Kyogre, so this Pokemon also won't have access to its signature moveset Origin Pulse, but that's okay because Surf is still going to be a great moveset you guys can go with. Ideally, if you do end up getting one with really good IVs though, I would strongly recommend unlocking that secondary charge move and then using an Elite TM to get Origin Pulse, I did this for both my regular Kyogre as well as my Shadow, and I do not regret it one bit. Taking a look at meta relevance, Kyogre is going to be the pinnacle of water-type Pokemon. It's the best in its primal form, it's the best in its regular form, and it's going to be the best in its Shadow form. So whether you're going for candy farming or trying to get that hundo, it is definitely worth doing these raids if possible. But just like Groudon, I probably wouldn't use a lot of premium passes because the most optimal time to farm this would be when we have the primal version. Next up, we're going to talk about the Ancients Recovered event very briefly, and this is because we're going to get access to all of the Regis with their signature movesets and the legendary raid boss pool. Now additionally, these Pokemon will also have the chance to be shiny, and for those of you guys out there who do want to build these for PvP because most of them are kind of PvP focused, you want to ideally mirror trade them with somebody else to get a lower attack IV spread with high defense and high stamina. The IV floor from raid battles is going to be 10-10-10, but if you trade with like a best friend, for example, to minimize the amount of Stardust you have to spend, you'll be looking for something along the lines of 5-15-15. Now on June 23rd, we're going to have the original 3 Regi Pokemon available in rotation, so we're going to have Regirock, Regice, and Registeel. In terms of meta relevance here, Registeel is the most desirable because in the Open Ultra League it's ranked in the top 20 currently. It's also pretty good to run in the Open Great League as well. And then finally there's going to be Regice, which is going to be ranked in the top 150 for the Open Ultra League. Next up in rotation on June 24th, we're going to get access to Regieleki with the signature moveset Thunder Cage. Now hopefully this should move it up in the meta for PvP. Right now the rankings haven't been updated on PvPoke, but hopefully by the time I'm editing this they'll have updated it, so we'll have to wait and see what that looks like, and if they haven't updated it by the time I actually upload this, I'll most likely update the pinned comment down below if there's any significant changes, so make sure to check that. Now on June 25th we're going to have access to Regidrago with Dragon Breath and Dragon Energy. In my opinion, this is going to be a great combo moveset, and I do also expect it to get a nice buff in the PvP meta. I would be surprised if this Pokemon wasn't actually good. Next up on June 26th, we're going to get access to Regigigas, but we did just recently have a Shadow Raid Day for this Pokemon, so if you actually cared about this one, you probably went out to raid for it during that event. It's not exactly super useful outside of being a fun generalist attacker, so if you wanted to have it for one, you would ideally want to have the Shadow, in which case, if you didn't play that event, you didn't get it. So yeah, all things considered, I think this one's an easy skip, don't worry about it too much, but I guess if you want to get the shiny, make sure to do a few. Now finally, on June 27th, we're going to get access to Regirock, Regice, Registeel, Regigigas, Regieleki, and Regidrago. So basically, all the Regi Pokemon are going to be available in raids during this day, so if you needed an extra day to raid any of them, this is going to be your chance to do so. Now following that, on June 28th and June 29th, we're going to have Pokemon GO Fest Global, which is going to feature Zacian and Zamazenta, both in their crown forms. These Pokemon are going to be extremely meta relevant, and we'll spend some more time analyzing everything about them in a separate video. For right now though, just know, if you want to save your raid passes, these 2 Pokemon are definitely going to be 2 that you want to farm. Now finally, on June 30th to July 8th, we're going to have Cobalion, which is going to be the second time that we actually had it this year. So honestly speaking, I'm not super excited about this one. It's also not going to get access to its signature moveset Sacred Sword, so you will have to Elite TM for it. I don't love that, especially because we had these during the Unova tour a few months ago. We'll definitely spend some more time going over this Pokemon in more detail when we cover the July breakdown video, but as of right now, you have a lot of raid bosses to focus on for June. Now for every Pokemon that I just mentioned, we're also going to have a respective raid hour, which normally take place on Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. local time. But because we're going to have the lead-up event to Pokemon GO Fest, the rotations for the Regis are going to have them every single day. Now for those of you out there who are unfamiliar with how raid hours actually work, most gyms are going to have the featured Pokemon appearing, and the raids are also going to reset after about 25 minutes. So obviously the legendary raid pool is pretty packed, but what about the mega raid pool? So we're going to have 5 megas available during this month, and honestly they're not all that great, but some of them are pretty good. Let's run through them right now. So we're going to continue to have Mega Altaria until June 5th, once again 2 extra days on the rotation, which is kind of nice. When it comes down to Mega Altaria, this Pokemon really isn't good for anything, but it does take on the dual typing of Dragon and Fairy, so you can definitely use it for candy farming. Next up in rotation, we're going to have Mega Abomasnow from June 5th to June 14th. Mega Abomasnow is actually one of the top Ice-type Megas in the game for raid battle, so it is definitely worth powering up, and it also has the dual typing of Grass and Ice, which makes it great to have for candy farming as well during certain events. Following that, from June 14th to June 23rd, we're going to have Mega Manectric available, which is going to be the #1 Electric-type Mega in the game. From June 23rd to June 30th, we're going to get access to Mega Beedrill, which is going to be the second best Poison-type Mega behind Mega Gengar. It also has a dual typing of Bug and Poison, which is also really good for candy farming bonuses. Overall, we have 3 Pokemon worth picking up for candy farming, one that's going to be the #1 Mega, and then finally in the last rotation, we're going to get Mega Aggron from June 30th to July 8th, which actually turns into a pure Steel type when Mega Evolved, so not exactly the best Pokemon for candy farming, and it's also not really good to use in raids or for PvP. The only reason I would pick up a Mega Aggron is if you want to get it for your Mega Pokedex, or if you don't have Mega Scizor, Steelix, or Lucario for candy farming. Now overall, when it comes down to these Mega Pokemon, I'd recommend doing at least 1 to 2 raids to get the initial energy to Mega Evolve them for the first time, and then afterwards you can just walk them as your buddy to earn energy that way. The ultimate goal for all these Mega Pokemon is to get them to Mega Level 3, which is unlocked after 30 days of Mega Evolution. This is going to give you significantly better candy bonuses when catching Pokemon, so it's highly recommended to focus on this. Next up, let's take a look at our max battle rotation. So the normal rotation cycles that we were getting have actually been taken out. Instead, it looks like we're going to have 1 featured Pokemon a week, and there might be others, but they weren't mentioned on the official infographic. So I'm just going to go over these. So first of all, on June 2nd, we're going to get access to Dynamax Chansey. Most of you have probably heard me talk about Dynamax Chansey quite a bit on this channel, but when evolved to Blissey, this is one of the best tanks to use in max battles, arguably the best tank. Dynamax Chansey can also be pretty easily soloed as well, so you don't really need to have like the best Pokemon to start farming this. When it comes down to the IVs, you only need to focus on 15 HP and 15 defense because you're not going to be using the attack to do damage. This also means you won't have to upgrade the max attack as well. Only max guard and max heal to level 3. Now like I mentioned guys, Blissey is the best tank and it's likely going to be for the foreseeable future as well. Even against Gigantamax Machamp, which was recently featured, this Pokemon held up pretty well thanks to its massive HP stat. If you end up getting an optimal IV spread worth investing into, I would strongly recommend taking this at level 40 and possibly even level 50 at some point. You will not regret it. Next up in rotation, we're going to have Dynamax Machop available from June 9th to June 15th. Dynamax Machop is worth farming if you don't have enough extra large candy yet to upgrade the max attack to level 3 on your Gigantamax Machamp. Given that we recently had Machop Calm Day Classic though, I'm sure most of you already have enough for this. Next up from June 16th to June 22nd, we're going to get access to Dynamax Hatenna. This is going to benefit from a future Gmax form, and it does seem to be hinted towards releasing sometime during this season. From June 23rd to June 29th, we're going to get access to Dynamax Caterpie, which will also benefit from a future Gmax form. So once again, if you don't have enough extra large candy on your Caterpie, make sure to do these as well. Now finally, our last Pokemon in rotation is going to take place from June 30th to July 6th, which is going to be Dynamax Shuckle. This will be a new Dynamax Pokemon featured, and it actually has the highest defense out of any Pokemon in the game. The biggest downside here is that the HP is going to be pretty low, but speaking hypothetically, this might be a really good Pokemon to use as a tank combined together with level 3 max guard. It's featured at the end of the month, so I'll most likely revisit this in a future video to talk about it further. Now additionally, we're also going to have max hours taking place every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. local time. These work a little bit differently than the raid hours that take place on Wednesday, but essentially every single power spot is going to be the featured Pokemon. So on June 2nd, it's going to be Chansey, on the 9th, it's going to be Machop, on the 16th, it's going to be Hatenna, on the 23rd, it's going to be Caterpie, and then finally on the 30th, it's going to be Shuckle. The main incentive that I have found for these max hours is that if you are struggling to track down a certain Pokemon, it does make it easier to focus on the hunt. But given the rotations currently, I'm not entirely sure if we're going to have more than just one Dynamax Pokemon in rotation. Now with that being said, we are also going to have some featured Gigantamax Pokemon over the weekends, which we're about to talk about right now in the upcoming events. The first event that we're going to have is going to be the Serene Retreat event from May 30th to June 3rd. From this event, we're going to get access to 1/2 hatch distance, 1.5 times hatch experience. The MP collection limit is going to be raised from 800 to 1600. We're also going to get 8 times MP from power spots going from 120 to 820. We're going to get a boosted shiny rate on the following Pokemon: Muna from Field Research, as well as 2 kilometer eggs, and Morlul from the Wild and Field Research. From the Wild encounters, the shiny rate should be boosted to 1 out of 128. From Field Research and eggs, I'm not entirely sure. Now following that, we're also going to get a paid timed research available for $2. This will get you more encounters with Muna as well as Morlul. You're going to get 2 super incubators, and you're also going to get the bonus of 1.5 times hatch stardust during this event. And then finally, we're going to get the debut of Gigantamax Rillaboom over the weekend on May 31st and June 1st. Now with all that being said, I put together a full tips and tricks video going over everything you guys could possibly need to know about this event, so I'm going to leave that link down below as well as on screen right now. If you guys have not watched that, I would not be surprised because for some reason YouTube suppressed it. So I do want to encourage you guys, if you do actually enjoy the content, please consider subscribing. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, that's perfectly fine, but there is a chance you might not get recommended my content moving forward just because of the recent algorithm changes. And for those of you out there who are subscribed and you have been liking the videos, commenting, just know that I appreciate it so much, especially during this time when YouTube has just been so inconsistent. It means the world to me that you guys are still supporting the channel. Next up, in terms of events, we're going to have the Instrumental Wonders Encounters event from June 7th to June 11th. As far as the bonuses go, we're going to get access to 1.5 times raid experience. We're going to get the MP collection limit raised again to 1600, 8 times MP from power spots. We're also going to get a boosted shiny raid on the following Pokemon, Pharaoh Seed and Phalanx, available in the Wild, Research, and Raid battles. Once again, from the Wild Encounters, the shiny raid is going to be boosted to 1 out of 128. From raid battles, I believe it's 1 out of 64, and from field research, I'm not entirely sure. During this event, we're also going to get access to a paid timed research available for $2. Those will get you more encounters with Pharaoh Seed and Phalanx. You're going to get 5 premium raid passes, a super good deal, and you're also going to get the bonus of 2 times Raid Stardust. And then finally, we're going to get the debut of Gigantamax Cinderace, which I'm super excited about. Now, following that, from June 14th to June 18th, we're going to get the Phantom Ruins event. The special bonuses are going to be 2 times Catch Experience. We're going to have the MP collection limit raised once again to 1600 and 8 times MP from power spots. We're also going to get the boosted shiny rate on the following Pokemon, Gothita and Phantom from the Wild, Field Research, and Incense. And just like the previous events, we're going to get a paid timed research available for $2, which is going to get you more encounters with Gothita and Phantom, 5 Incense, and the special bonus of 2 times Catch Stardust. That additional special bonus is pretty damn good, and you're going to get your money's worth from the Incense. So yeah, all things considered, that event ticket's worth it too. And then finally, we're going to get the debut of Gigantamax Inteleon. Next up, we're going to have a mystery event from June 20th to June 22nd. Nothing is known about this event, at least nothing that I'm aware of. If you guys have any speculation, or maybe you've seen something in the data mine, let me know in the comment section down below. Now, during the mystery event, we're also going to have the June Com Day on June 21st, which is going to feature Jangmo-O. I'm pretty excited about this one. Most of us probably speculated this happening anyways before the official announcement, but I really want to get this shiny, so looking forward to that. Following that, we're going to have the Ancients Recovered event from June 23rd to June 27th. We talked about this event earlier during the Legendary Raid rotation with the Reggie Pokemon. Now, as far as bonuses go, we're going to get the Remote Raid Pass limit increased to 30 between the 23rd and the 26th. And then from the 27th to the 29th, it's going to be removed completely because we're going to have Pokemon Go Fest Global. Now, we're also going to get guaranteed extra large candy from trading Pokemon if you're level 31 or higher during this event. So even though this seasonal bonus is being removed in the new rotation, we're going to have this bonus right before Go Fest. So I'm really happy to see that, because if you want to get rid of Pokemon storage, or if you want to free up Pokemon storage, I should say, this is definitely going to be a bonus you want to take advantage of. Now, we're also going to get the Global Challenge bonus, which if we complete it, and we most likely will, it's going to give us an increased catch rate with Premier Balls, which I'm so happy to see. I mean, there is nothing worse than playing like a major event in Pokemon Go and just having the catch rate be terrible. It just makes it so unfun. Like during the Univator, the catch rate on Kurem, Reshiram, and Zekrom was awful. It definitely ruined a lot of the momentum during the event and honestly frustrated me to no end, and my friends too. It was really difficult and annoying and just didn't need to happen. So I'm happy to see them doing this during this event. Major quality of life update, and I think a lot of players are going to be pretty happy. We're also going to get party power charging faster, which again makes raid battles even easier. Now additionally, we're also going to get special backgrounds on all the Reggies as well as Zacian and Zamazenta. The backgrounds actually look pretty good, so I might actually end up doing a few Reggie raids just for that chance. We're also going to get Gigantamax, Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Inteleon featured during this event, which I guess is kind of cool. We just had them during the previous event, so I don't know, I guess do them if you can. If you have the extra MP, why not? We'll also be getting a free timed research, which is going to get you encounters with all 6 Reggies. Naturally, this field research is going to be raid focused, like the typical lead-up events that we get for, all the major events in Pokemon Go. Now, from this timed research, I don't believe you can actually get the special backgrounds, though. You can only get those from the raid battles. And then finally, we're going to get a paid timed research, which is going to award you with either a Galarian Articuno, Galarian Zapdos, or Galarian Moltres. If you've been trying to get these from the, daily adventure incense and you've had 0 luck like myself, or you've had them run away, or you've Go Plus to Shiny, God, I really hate that happened to me, but it did, you might want to get this. I'm personally not going to get this, but I think for anybody out there who's been really frustrated with these Galarian birds, might not be a bad idea. Keep in mind that we do actually have the daily adventure incense increased to 30 minutes as the seasonal bonus, so I mean, if you don't get this, you could also just hunt it from that. There's a good chance you might end up encountering one. And if you happen to encounter a shiny and you don't Go Plus it, it is going to be a guaranteed catch. At least it can't run away, I should say. Which means it can break out, but you'll have to keep throwing Ultra Balls and Golden Raspberries until you eventually catch it. So at the end of the day, I'm going to leave that up to you guys whether or not you think this paid timed research is worth it. Let me know in the comment section down below, because I actually am kind of curious. Now finally, our last event for this month is going to be Pokemon Go Fest Global, which is going to be featured on June 28th and June 29th. I will have multiple videos uploaded leading up to this massive event, so again, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, and especially if you don't have notifications turned on, I would strongly encourage you to do that right now so you don't miss any of my uploads, because we're going to get into everything in real good detail. Also, if you guys have any video suggestions, let me know in the comment section down below, because I will do my best to cover everything possible. Pokemon Go Fest aside though, we still got to go over the spotlight hours for this month. These are going to be taking place every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. local time, and shiny forms will be available for all the featured Pokemon. Okay, so first of all, on June 3rd, we're going to have Spritzee with a special bonus of 2x catch experience. In my opinion, this is an event you definitely want to skip. Yeah, you heard me right, skip. There is no meta relevance for Spritzee, and if I'm not mistaken, the catch rate is awful on this Pokemon. Now following that, on June 10th, we're going to have the featured Pokemon as Magnemite with the special bonus 2x catch candy. When evolved to Magnezone, this ranks in the top 150 for the Open Great League and the top 150 for the Open Ultra League. It can also be used as a budget Electric-type attacker, just catch and evolve your highest level Magnemite, and then you can replace them later once you get access to better attackers. This strategy is mainly useful for newer or returning players just coming back to the game. For any veteran players out there, you guys probably already have some amazing Electric-type options, so don't worry about this. For anybody who doesn't know though, in order to actually evolve Magneton into Magnezone, you have to do this under a Magnetic Lure module. Next up on June 17th, we're going to have Solosis as the featured Pokemon with the special bonus of 2x transfer candy. Now Solosis isn't relevant for anything, but we are going to have the special bonus of 2x transfer candy, so I would strongly recommend creating a search tag, group together all of your rare Pokemon extra legendaries leading up to this event, and bonus points if you actually mirror trade them with somebody else beforehand for even more candy. I would strongly encourage you guys to go through your Pokemon storage before this spotlight hour, just because you do want to ideally clean up your storage before Pokemon Go Fest the following weekend, and this event is going to give you a great opportunity to get more candy on the Pokemon you're going to transfer away anyways. And for those of you out there who struggle to clean out your Pokemon storage, I would strongly recommend watching my Ultimate Storage Management Guide video. It's going to be linked down below, and I have received so much positive feedback on that. Now finally, our last spotlight hour for this month is going to feature Growlithe on June 24th with the special bonus 2x evolve experience. Now as far as Growlithe when evolved into Arcanine, this can be used as a budget fire-type attacker. Probably not a really good one, but again, it's mainly just for newer players out there who don't have that many good options. So yeah, just catch and evolve your highest level versions, and then you can replace them later once you get access to better fire types in the future, which we have a pretty big list of good fire type Pokemon. If you actually want to know what are the best fire types to invest into, I'm going to recommend watching this video on screen. Otherwise, if you guys want to just focus on the experience bonus during this event, I would gather about 70 evolutions in a search tag per lucky egg, and if you can, try to coordinate any friendship level ups as well. Now with that being said, overall these spotlight hours actually kind of suck. I mean, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it here. They're pretty bad. I wish they were a little bit better. Usually we get some good ones sprinkled in, but overall, all 4 of these, easy skips for me. Now, despite the spotlight hours being bad, I do actually think June has some pretty good content to look forward to, and most importantly, we're gonna have Pokemon Go Fest Global at the end of the month. So maybe it's a good thing that we have some chill events and then like a really big event weekend to focus on. I'm probably going to be going out on the weekends to get the new G-Max Pokemon, but outside of that, probably not going to play all that much during this month. I am going to focus on gyms though so that I can get some extra Pokecoins to use during Go Fest. That's probably something I'd recommend doing if you guys can. As always though, if there's anything you're looking forward to specifically, let me know in the comment section down below, and if you guys want to check out some more content, I'm going to recommend these videos right here. But before you go, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you all real soon in the next one.